Oh, Hollywood, land of glitz, glamour, and abuse. We all know tons of abuse has gone on in Hollywood.
No wire hangers ever!
And recently we've accepted it less and less.
The Me Too movement.
For great reason. We're creating better spaces for people to work. But I've always been fascinated between the line of great director and tyrannical director and how they're very blurry, if not non-existent.
Hey, man.
And in this video, I want to talk about some of the most iconic directors and the experiences actors have had working with them.
I did a movie with him and I had a really bad experience, like really bad.
Well, I want to start things off with the maybe most iconic example of a tyrannical director and a rattled actor. This is, of course, Stanley Kubrick and Shelley Duvall on the set of The Shining.
Well, I don't sympathize with Shelley.
Now, there's little footage of Stanley and Shelley interacting on the set thanks to the documentary that Kubrick's wife made about the making of The Shining. This film, of course, is slanting Kubrick in a better light, probably because it was made by his wife. And we are, given a couple glimpses of him chewing her out.
There's no desperation. Oh, come on. What do you mean roll video?
Seconds.
We're killing ourselves out here, and you're going to be ready.
I am too. I'm standing
So we
right
play
by
mood
the
music?
door. No, I can't.
Yeah, but when you
hear.
came in like this, you said just give
We're
a little
sitting there because they
desperate.
say, wait a minute.
Okay.
Shelley Duvall has said many times that she had a really difficult time working with Stanley Kubrick.
So I resented Stanley at times because he pushed me, and it hurt. And I resented him for it. I thought, why do you want to do this to me? How can you do this to me?
And he was known for pushing actors to their limits, usually for the sake of getting a stronger performance out of them. Kubrick was known for shooting scenes over and over and over. The world record is actually held by The Shining for the most times a single take was done. This performance in particular is interesting because we see that he's trying to get a more rattled, more fearful performance out of Shelley Duvall. And this is because, obviously, in the film, her husband's running around with an axe trying to chop her and her son up. And this is wildly effective in the final result of the film. One of the reasons The Shining is so terrifying is Shelley Duvall's reaction to everything that's going on. She just has such an innocence. Her eyes are so expressive, and you are with her on this journey through this crazy-ass haunted hotel. And we don't really know the extent of what went on between them, but I think maybe some of it has been blown out of proportion.
And it's just the necessary turmoil to get out of it what you want out of it. I mean, we had the same end in mind. It was just that sometimes we differed in our means. And by the end, the means met. And I find I really respect him and really like him, both as a person and as a director. I mean, I'm amazed.
Another interesting elephant in the room director we need to discuss is David O. Russell.
Do I not yell at you before right now? No. I never yelled at you.
Now, David O. Russell is full-on abusive. There's no denying that he just is a full-blown tyrant. And his films do reflect some greatness, but they're uneven. And O. Russell seems to just be on a power trip a lot of the times. From George Clooney, he fought with George Clooney on the set of Three Kings.
That David said, hey, George, why don't you just worry about your f***ing acting? George looked like he wanted to rip him in half. And David's like, come on.
He fought with Amy Adams.
An email revealed O. Russell, who has a reputation for being difficult to work with, so abused Amy during the shoot that Christian Bale got in his face and told him to stop being so aggressive. Amy since noted that the director actually made her cry and she was completely devastated on set most days.
And we cannot talk about tyrannical directors without bringing up Alfred Hitchcock.
I've always said that actors are cattle, actually.
He was also noted for having a little bit of a deviant side to him.
Tippi Hedren is finally opening up about the abuse she says she suffered at the hands of Alfred Hitchcock, the legendary director who made her a star and then ruined her career because she refused to sleep with him.
He made her suffer. Now, how did he make her suffer?
Hitchcock retaliated, she says, with pure cruelty. He replaced mechanical birds with real ones in that famous attack scene from The Birds. That's not fake blood. She really was pecked in the face by the birds.
He told me he'd ruin my career. I said, do what you have to do. I don't care. I'm out.
I think if more actresses felt comfortable in the era that Hitchcock worked in, we would have heard more about this. But in that era, you kept your mouth shut or your career was destroyed. And this was a real thing in old Hollywood, that if you opened your mouth, if you moved the wrong way, if you spoke the wrong way, you could be ruined. And you remember, this is somebody's livelihood. And in that time, actors weren't making $20 million for a movie, especially somebody fresh-faced like Tippi Hedren. They were making a studio salary, and they had their livelihoods to think about, and their careers and their future and their family's future. And we didn't give the space for people to just say, hey, this guy abused me on the set. You know, Alfred Hitchcock, the guy we all love and sells millions of dollars worth of tickets and makes these incredible, historically significant films. He's a predator. It just wasn't done. And it's really thankful that we live in an era now where people feel comfortable coming forward and speaking out against this behavior, because obviously it's miserable for the people who have to experience it.
It is the worst thing to be the object of someone's obsession if you're not interested. It became unbearable.
Another director that I have always heard about being tyrannical, being abusive, is Lars von Trier. Von Trier has had a rough past. He's admitted to a lot of drug and alcohol abuse problems.
Jeg har været glad for rusen. Ja, nu forsøger jeg at overleve i første omgang. Det går der indtil nu.
He's said that he can't write a movie without being drunk or high, that he can't make a movie without being drunk or high. And obviously, he made some off-color comments at the Cannes Film Festival, which got him barred.
What can I say? I understand Hitler.
I mean, Nazi sympathy is like, come on, dude, what are you doing? But anyway, again, Von Trier, to me, is one of the best living filmmakers. When I look at the work that he has produced, it is immaculate. It is so tortured. It is so intense and guttural. But we again see a lot of problems with his actors interacting with him. Most notably, Bjork has spoken out against the way he treated her on the set of Dancer in the Dark. She has said she will never make a movie again because of how difficult it was to work with. There were also rumors that she would spit on Von Trier during the filming and say, Mr. Von Trier, I hate you, on a daily basis. It's like, tough. Nicole Kidman also said she had a hard time working with him, and they apparently had a 3-hour screaming match in the woods while filming Dogville one day. This again has been hit or miss as to what we actually know and what has actually been blown out of proportion.
What were the good things about working with Lars?
I guess his integrity and his kind of absolutely not capable of compromising and sticking to his vision.
And again, I say, these are directors that are some of the best of all time. Kubrick, Hitchcock, Von Trier, these are people that we respect on another level in terms of cinema. And this makes me think of that ideology in the film Whiplash, where J.K. Simmons' character is abusive towards his students. And in it, he validates it by saying that the abuse is what creates greatness.
There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
We We see this example time and time again in history. You look at the Jackson brothers. There's so much records of abuse from the Jackson 5, and yet we have the most incredible performer of all time produced out of that group, Michael Jackson.
Into the night, it began to be.
And we see this example so often that it does make me philosophically a bit torn and confused about how to understand abuse and where the line between pushing somebody to greatness and abuse starts and ends. Now, obviously, some behavior like O. Russell screaming and throwing things on the set of I Heart Huckabees is full-blown abuse. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. And the results of that movie, like I said, aren't even that great. But when we look at something like Kubrick, who is pushing his actress to achieve more, that's where it starts to get blurry for me. And morally, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. If I think he was in the right or the wrong. And we don't know the exact extent of it. It's he said, she said material. And I don't ever want to denote somebody who is such an important figure and who is such a master creator for just pushing to want more and to want better. And I always think it's okay to want better and to push people, especially if you're in charge. You have a duty to make the best possible film you can make as a director. And the whole production is riding on their shoulders. We all know if a movie's bad, the director can be put in director jail, as they call it, and the director will never work again. So the pressure is on for them.
Okay, you got 30 seconds. This is absolutely unforgivable.
It has nothing to do with him.
I don't care. Unforgivable. We could have shot this scene 3 times.
The director has the entire production on their shoulders. And this can create some sort of mental stuff that I think some people deal with better than others. Now, somebody like Steven Spielberg claims he thrives under this kind of pressure. As a matter of fact, he says the times when he makes the most creative, incredible decisions is when he's on the verge of panic. And I think some people are equipped for the sorts of pressure and task that is required from directing a movie.
So you hold it out, and he goes, wham! That's the idea.
And other people are equipped but might have baggage that they bring with them to the set or to whatever they do that they're going to unleash on the people they work with.
Just for the. What are you doing? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that again.
There's also the dynamic of just power and how that affects somebody. The line is really, really difficult here, and the moral implications of creating great art through abuse is obviously not something that's sustainable or something that we should be validating in the world. But I think we can instead say, look, you can be a perfectionist. You can want more. It's okay to ask people for more. It's not okay to scream and throw things at Lily Tomlin.